This bowl is for the plant-based, high-protein enthusiasts. Spicy maple glazed tofu, a fresh cucumber avocado salad, then layered with a creamy, high-protein sauce. A complete meal for the pro athlete or the day-to-day grind. Let's talk about what you're gonna need. Tofu, I'm using extra firm, soy sauce, rice vinegar, cornstarch, olive oil, sriracha, maple syrup, butter beans, cucumber, avocado, cilantro, lime, and seasonings. Jumping into this, I already pressed my tofu. I like to go about 15 to 30 minutes. Just enough time to move most of the water out so our tofu can soak up all the flavor. Before breaking the tofu down, I like to dry it off, and then by hand, I pull it apart into chunks. This is gonna give us more organic looking pieces. It's a bit of a psychological thing. As adults, we may not care what our tofu looks like. Well, some of us. But for kids, this method is like groundbreaking. Once we get our tofu into the bowl, add soy sauce, rice vinegar, and let the tofu marinate for just about 20 minutes. This is sufficient time to allow the tofu to soak up all that umami flavor. Skipping this step to save time would honestly be a crime. If you really want to get the most out of your tofu, allow it to get that flavor in there. And if you're comfortable, make up some of your own flavors to really dial in what you're looking for. While the tofu marinates, in a small bowl, we're gonna combine garlic powder, paprika, and cornstarch. This is the step I would also prep my rice or my quinoa, whatever else I can pair this up with to help the meal go a bit further. Get the seasonings and cornstarch into the bowl, and then by hand, I toss it back and forth to really make sure I coat all of the tofu. This is gonna be the breading, and I would like a little bit of crisp in every bite. Now, drizzle on a bit of olive oil and toss it again. This will help even further crisp up our tofu bites. Lay the tofu out on a lightly oiled baking tray. We're skipping the parchment. The tofu making contact with the pan will encourage more caramelization. And here, we love flavor. A baking tray that looks like this. When I was younger, I used to tell my mom, it looks like that person can't cook at all. They must burn every single meal. But my mom's perspective was, someone who has a baking tray that looks like this has experience. So this says experience. Once spaced out evenly, bring this to the oven to bake just under 30 minutes. We have our tofu going, so we're gonna bring together our glaze. We have sriracha already in the bowl. We're gonna add some maple syrup, and that's it. We're striking the perfect balance between sweet and heat. Next is our high protein sauce. You do have some options here, and I'll go over that in just a second. Into your blender or food processor, do your best to add your can of beans. Mine's decided to hit everywhere but the inside. From there, we're gonna follow that up with sriracha, maple syrup, cumin, onion powder, smoked paprika, and some lime juice. Now, it's time to blend it up. And of course, I forgot to charge my blender, so it's making noise, but the blade's not spinning. I tried to jump start it by shaking it up, but all it needed was a charge, so I did that, and ta-da! What do? Things happen in the kitchen, right? We adapt, we overcome, and then charge our appliances. With our blender finishing up, we're gonna set our sauce aside and then prep our side salad salsa situation. First up are gonna be cucumbers. I like slicing them in halves, then into fourths, and finally, dicing them up. When done, I'm just gonna add these to the large bowl that I'm going to mix everything together in. Avocados, I slice those in half. Then do a few slices lengthwise, a few more widthwise, and use a spoon to scoop out the cubes. Let's bring in our cilantro, and we're gonna mince that up nice and small. You could always swap this one for parsley, which I typically do if I'm out of cilantro. Then lastly, we're zesting our lime, then juicing it right into the bowl. From here, Stir everything together. The fresh, tangy flavors in this salsa are like a perfect contrast to our crispy glazed tofu. Okay, the baking tray is back and our tofu should look like this. Golden, charred, and ready for the last step. Transfer it into a bowl, drizzle on your maple glaze, and give that a quick shake and toss to coat the outside with pure flavor. And that's it. I assembled this with a bed of rice at the bottom, loads of our crispy tofu just hugging the side, our fresh avocado cucumber salad hugging the other side, and down the middle, I even added some fresh mango, which I just can't put into words how delicious the combination is. That is it. It's your time to shine. Make the meal, send me pictures on my Instagram, get creative. The full recipe can be found linked in the description, or you could head right on over to my website, makeitdairyfree.com. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, believe in good. Peace.